The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. Came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, the 90 Days of Boxing series continues. Today is day number 25. Who would have thought, guys? 25 days in a row. I have not. It don't matter if the live was 1 hour, 40 minutes, 50 seconds, 2 hours, 4 hours. I haven't folded not one time yet. 25 days in a row we've gone live here on True School Sports. It's getting to the point where it's like a habit. It's not even special. Like, it's special because I'm here, but it's not like crazy like I thought it was when I first started. Because they say it normally takes 21 days for something to become a habit. We're 25 days in, so this done been a habit already. But shout out to everyone here. If you're watching the playback, make sure you smash that like button. If you're just tuning in now, make sure you smash that like button. It's another day here in Vegas, man. Really, really exciting times here on True School Sports. As many of you guys know, I'm with my boy Eric Lances Jr., the 140 pounder. From Homestead, Florida, the Fighting Pride of Homestead, Florida. We've been going gym to gym here in Vegas, looking for the best sparring and training and getting him sharp for what he's got coming up on the horizon. So, yeah, man, got that going on. What is it, Wednesday or Thursday? No, yeah, Thursday. I'll be in LA actually to cover the Jojo Diaz fight on Golden Boy. So stay tuned for coverage on that. And yeah, man, just really, really a fun time to be alive, a beautiful time to be alive, and I'm so appreciative for everything going on right now. So listen, I know there's been a lot happening in boxing today. Like I knew like Subriel Matias signed with Eddie Hearn today. That's the big news in boxing. A lot of things going on, but Elijah Garcia's fighting Kyron Davis. A lot of things going on in boxing, but listen. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but for however long it's going to be, let's make it a great time. Make sure you smash that like button so this video gets out to as many people as possible. Get your boxing questions in, or even, look, your non-boxing questions in. Because, if you watch these lives, if you've been following the 90 Days on Boxing series, then at this point, you're not even like, we're family here on True School Sports. We cool. So ask away. I'll be here. Mankey Crazy with the first comment in the day. He says, I'm just checking in. Happy birthday, BT. Thank you, man. Happy to be alive, 29 years young, not old, but young. So good to be here. Good to be alive. Good to make it 29 laps on the sun. A lot of people didn't even do that. So, very, very grateful, very, very blessed. Mankey wants to know, what movies are you looking forward to? That's a great question, man. I'm not really like big movie guy. I know, like, I was informed today by my boy Eric, because we were just talking today. And he said that, I guess, Deadpool, there's a new Deadpool movie coming out. So I guess maybe that would have to be the default, because I don't know any movies in theaters. But I'll tell you this. One movie I like to always watch, for those that don't know, my favorite movie of all time, I've watched it like 80 times, is Paid in Full. I just finally watched that movie last summer for the first time. And that movie kind of changed my life a little bit. That movie got me like hungry to like succeed. Just even though there's some things in that movie that morally I don't agree with, but just the get money like street mentality that's presented in the movie. From Kai Pfeiffer and Wood Harris. Got me just more motivated, more inspired to do great things in life. And that's why we got things here on True School Sports like 90 Days of Boxing. So yeah, man. Rocky says that the Filipino Bernard Torres will, in fact, upset Bruce Shushu Carrington. You think so? Bernard Torres is a good fighter. I seen him fight one time on Showbox, and I remember him being a really tough, tricky, durable southpaw when he fought the Dominican Frenchie Fortunato. So I'm not writing him off, but I think Shushu is about a level above him, level and a half above him. He'll have definite advantages in the speed department and even the punch power department. But I know Bernard Torres is going to come to fight. And if Shushu has any sort of a letdown, it'll turn into a really hard night of work for him. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm looking forward to seeing that fight. That'll be on the undercard of Shocky Foster versus Abraham Nova. Big boxing week, this guys, because Thursday you got the Jojo Diaz card, which I'm gonna be out there covering the fight, getting some content, getting interviews. I'll be out there supporting two of South Florida's very own and the Tudor brothers, Eric and Sasha Tudor. They're on the undercard. You got Ricardo Sandoval on that card. It's a good little card. I'll be out in LA with my boy Eric as we continue our voyage, sparring, getting him sharp for what he's got going on. Beat Enrique Luna, good to see you. He says, BT, how was the run with last night with Angelo? Yeah, man. So last night, for those of you who didn't see, we had the shortest live stream in the history of True School Sports. I never went live for such a short amount of time, but I kind of had to because it was getting late, and I wanted to make sure that I continued the streak, so I just went live for 50 seconds. The run was good, man. We ran about 30 minutes around this one park in Vegas. It was me, it was Angelo, and it was my boy Eric Lantis Jr. We ran around this park, and it was good. I gotta say, man, I know they probably weren't running their hardest because these guys are like, professional fighters. They have like another level of fitness. So I'm regular people fit. They're like fit. But all things considered, I thought, I paced myself pretty well, and it was good. I enjoyed it. It was good, man. Angelo, I remember, I think it was 20 minutes or so into our run, he was like, yeah, I'm getting in that mode again. Because he's got a fight coming up soon that will be announced very shortly. So, yeah, man, it was good, man. Listen, there's 9 of you here. I only have 1 like, so don't be stingy, guys. Don't be stingy. These likes, they help these lives. They help get more people in here to ask great questions so we can continue this 90 Days of Boxing live series going. So if you haven't done so already, smash that damn like button. Stop being so damn stingy, guys. There's 9 of you here. This should be about 9 likes, at least 7, So if you haven't done so already, hit them likes. And get your questions in. So a lot of interesting things happening in boxing. I guess I'll just start talking about a couple of the hot topics in the sport right now. So the main thing that I've seen that's been dominating the headlines today when I was checking the news was the fact that, it's now official. It's not a rumor anymore. Subriel Matias is now officially an Eddie Hearn matchroom fighter, which I think is amazing for him because he never really had a big-time promoter backing him. And that's why he wasn't able to ever headline fights in big-time Puerto Rican markets like New York City or Orlando or even the island itself. So now I think at the bare minimum, I don't know what kind of opponents Eddie Hearn could secure for Subriel Matias, but as far as where he's going to fight and building him and getting him more known, he's going to be afforded the opportunity to go ahead and, definitely have a chance to become the next face of Puerto Rican boxing. And look, when you look at DAZN, because that's the platform in which he's going to be fighting on, they got Ryan Garcia, they've got Devin Haney, right? They've got Arnold Barbosa Jr., they've got Richardson Hitchens, they got Regis Prograis, they got Jack Catterall, they got Jose Ramirez. So there is no shortage of opponents and variety for Subriel Matias, and I'm happy for him. I think Eddie Hearn, he's kind of, it's in my opinion, it's only my opinion. I think Subriel Matias and Eddie Hearn is the perfect marriage because I feel like Subriel Matias is going to give Eddie Hearn his best efforts. Eddie Hearn is going to give Subriel Matias his best efforts, and he's going to get a legitimate chance just so long as he performs to the best of his abilities in the ring to be that big star in Puerto Rican boxing. So I like it, man, and I'm hoping, I'd like to see him get the fights with, Regis Prograis. I still want to see him fight Prograis because that was a big thing for a while. I still want to see him fight Devin Haney. I still want to see him fight, anybody at 40 with a name who's at the top. I want to see Matias in the ring against them because I feel like Subriel Matias, people always say what he can do, what he can't do. To me, anytime he's in that boxing ring, he is nothing short of must-see television. So, yeah, good news there on that end. Also, it was also announced, and this news right here, guys, this news is a little bit anticlimactic because I wanted to see this rematch about a year and a half ago, and they marinated it, and they went ahead. Josh Taylor done went ahead and already lost the damn belt, and guess what? Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall have apparently agreed to some sort of rematch. There's no date yet. There's none of that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not really too excited about Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall because, to be perfectly honest with you, neither one of them has did anything of note since they fought each other. Taylor, all he's done since he got a gift against Catterall is lose to Tio, and all Catterall has done since he got robbed against Taylor was fight a shot to pieces, corpse of Roy Linares. So it's like there's no momentum, and I just think this is why, like in boxing, right, especially in this social media age, it's out of sight, out of mind. You got to go ahead and you got to make things happen in a timely, diligent, and tactful manner. And I feel like just everyone involved with this whole rematch and the managers and the promoters and the handlers, They took the sweet time, so therefore, it's a good fight. I'll watch it, but I'm not like that excited about it. They better they better do a whole lot of shit talking to get me re-excited about this, because really there's no interest in it for me, because neither one of them really has done anything since they fought each other. All right, shout out to my man Cash Cow. He says, "Hey BT, good to see you, Cash Cow. Hope all is well." Koki, he says, Prograis and Matias has been brewing since 2019. Prograis posted on IG that he would fight Matias in 2024, but I still think Regis will avoid Matias unless Hearn can sway Regis. There's no reason for Prograis to avoid Matias at this point, because Prograis wants to become a 3-time champion. Matias has a belt that will allow him to potentially become 3-time champion, so make it happen. By the way, guys, I can see my picture on the stream is a little choppy. Let me audio is good. If the audio cuts out at all anytime in this live, let me know, because I'm in this hotel. The Wi-Fi here is trash. I'm not even using Wi-Fi. I'm just using my phone, my data. So that's what we do for 90 Days of Boxing. Rocky Austin says, last night, Raymond Gabayo beat Farab from Thailand here in the Philippines. It was a killer performance. Gabayo won via killer body shot in the first round. Maloney's ass is next. Well, that's good, man. Like, Gabayo is a good fighter. Gabayo hasn't been able to quite crack at the world level, but Gabayo is, obviously, hard puncher, guy that's going to be in entertaining fights and things like that. Tank wants to know, how long will I be staying in California? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure, but I know that I'm going to be there Thursday because I'm going to the Jojo Diaz fight. So if any of you guys out there in the world are going to be at the small Jojo Diaz fight, I think it's at the venue. It's called the Terrace. I think it's called the Terrace or something like that. I'll be at the card. So if any of you are going to be there, let me know. And if you see me in the crowd, I always tell everyone that. I tell anybody who watches these videos, I say, look, if you see me at a fight, flag me down, say hello, tell me who you are. Because I always love to stop and talk to people that watch my content. Because like I always say, I don't take none of this for granted. There's a gajillion boxing channels that you guys could watch. So anybody who appreciates what I do, I'll stop and I'll talk to you. Like, I'm a regular guy, Haka Mustang, good to see you, champ. Hope all is well. But we'll be in Cali, though. We'll be in Cali. Me and Eric will be in Cali, looking for all the best sparring, all the best work. And so it'll be cool. It'll be really, really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing. Like, I've really just been enjoying like my time in Vegas, because now I'm just not here creating content. I'm around boxing in so many different ways. Like, I'm going to the gyms. I'm seeing the daily process of a fighter, which I've been to that before. Like, I spent time with fighters in camp before, but now I'm seeing it again. And I'm seeing boxing from so many different like lenses and perspectives, so that it always helps when I come back here and I talk to you guys, and it helps me really see boxing from a holistic perspective, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people that cover boxing on YouTube, they're just content creators, or they don't really get exposed as much as I do. So it's great that I get exposed so much here in Vegas. Cash Cow says Liam Paul will beat Matias. Liam Paul is a good fighter, and I've known Liam since 2021 when he was first out here in Vegas sparring. I met him at City Athletic Boxing Gym. Nobody knew who he was, but he was in the rankings at the time, and he's been sparring these guys like Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson for years now. So I know he's been getting sharp, and it's been showing in his fights. And he's a good fighter, mid range. He's gotten better from the outside. Obviously, sparring those guys will do that for you. And look, with Matias, it all comes down to, can you keep Matias at bay? Can you withstand the onslaught that is inevitably going to come your way? And if you can, your chances of beating him go up exponentially. But it's hard to deal with, because his conditioning is very, very good. And, his defense has tightened up. He's not out here being like, he's not going to over-maneuver himself out of the way of punches. But Matias tighten that guard up to where now he's not going to be getting caught with so many flush shots. So now he's not getting hit as much, and he has more gas in the tank to break you down as the fight goes on. So, I think Matias is going to be a test for people. It's not just their conditioning, not just their will, but even their boxing IQ. When you fight a guy like Matias, you have to be very cognizant of what type of punches are you throwing, and are they landing? Because if they're not landing, then you're wasting energy. He's gonna get stronger as the fight goes along, and you're probably gonna get stopped. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pops. Good to see you, Pops. Hope all is well back home in South Florida. He says, keep grinding, champ. That's what we're doing. Listen, the work here has not stopped. If I'm not with Eric in the gym, I'm here creating content, editing content. It never ends. And that's the beautiful thing about this boxing journey is like there's always something to talk about. If I put my phone down for 2 hours to go do something and I come back, something in boxing has happened. And that's the beauty and the speed of, I guess, the way things move in the sport. Everyone says boxing is slow, but my thing is like if you're really covering boxing, how could it be slow? There's always something to talk about. There's so many fighters in the world, so there's always something to talk about. Matias had harder opponents, which were Dadashev and Jukabayev. I genuinely believe they pose more problems than Paro. Jukabayev, nobody ever talks about Jukabayev because a lot of people just now started following Matias, so they don't know that name. It's not a sexy name. He's not a big name. But, man, if you saw that fight, if you've ever seen Jukabayev fight other fighters or in the Matias fight, that was a very good win for Matias. And a lot of these guys at 40, I don't think would fight Jukabayev. High risk, low reward. Koki says, I respect Paul highly, but if Matias knocks him out, fans will call Paul C-level just like they did with Matias' last 5 opponents, even though they were undefeated. And next up, Matias critics are relentless. Listen, I know how good Ergashev is. Ergashev is a very good fighter. A lot of fighters in this division could not beat Ergashev. A lot of fighters in this division didn't want to fight Ergashev. That's just the truth. That's why Ergashev eventually got the Matias fight, because the guys that were supposed to fight him in the final eliminator, they didn't want to fight him. And that's why the IBF had to inevitably step in and say, you know what? Fight Matias. The Falling Star. Shout out to my guy, The Falling Star. He says, do you want to see Shohei play a game one day? I've already seen Shohei Ohtani play twice in person. I saw Ohtani play in September of 2022 at Angel Stadium. And then I got a chance to witness the most famous moment of Ohtani's career when Japan won the World Baseball Classic final. I was there in Miami at the final when he struck out Mike Trout. So I've seen him play twice. He's a great player. I kind of dislike him a little bit more now because he's in the National League, and I'm a Marlins fan. So, anybody in the National League, I don't like teams in the National League, but great player. Koki says, Ergashev is back in training. Did you see BT? I did. I saw that he's back in training. I believe that they said he's going to fight in like April. So we'll see. I know he got stabbed in the leg. Ergashev got stabbed in the leg, and that's why they said that he didn't perform that well against Matias. I'm not making that excuse for him, but that's what happened. And we'll see how it goes. I still want to see him against the guys in the top 15 like Hitchens and Catterall and Andy Hiroka. Specifically Andy Hiroka, right? Because Hiroka's one of these guys from Japan who has been fighting on all these Inoue cards. He's got some good wins on his record, but the last, 3-4 opponents ain't been so great. I want to see him get that step up against someone, and I think Ergashev being a fellow aggressive, power-punching southpaw, that would just be a great fight for the division. Shout out to everyone here. Make sure, listen, if you didn't do us already, smash that like button. Let me see, what else happened in boxing today? Because I've been keeping track of the news, seeing what's going on. I know that Navarrete and Dennis Baranchyk are officially in negotiations for the vacant WBO title fight. So I think when that fight happens, that's a top-ranked fight for sure. And if Navarrete does what he's supposed to do, that sets the table for a Shakur Stevenson fight, potentially like in September later this year, and it'll be a unification fight. They'll do it here in Vegas at somewhere like, I don't know, like the Cosmopolitan or something like that. I don't think Shakur is going to get a T-Mobile headlining fight because I know the tickets didn't do very well, numbers-wise, as far as what they sold. So I would expect Top Rank to scale down, the venue they fight in, and it not be like somewhere, be more of a Cosmopolitan type fight, more so than a fight at the T-Mobile Arena or the MGM Grand. But it's a good fight. Do you think Terrence Crawford has the best performance so far of this decade in the Spence fight? It's definitely in the running. I mean, some of the other performances that I can think of in the 2020s, right? Ken Shiro versus Kayaguchi comes to mind. That fight is about as close to perfect as perfect can get in boxing. And it was Kenshiro taking on a guy that was lineal champion, looked at to be on his level. A guy that I would say is an A- level fighter in Kayaguchi, and he just made him look like a nothing fighter. But that performance, pretty much like our better Biev versus Joe Smith was pretty perfect. It's been a lot of great performances in boxing. What else? Roman Gonzalez versus Calio Fight. That was 2020. That qualifies. That was amazing. I mean, I remember being ringside for that fight in Texas, and obviously when you sit press row at these fights, you're supposed to be professional and not cheer for none of these fighters. But he had the media, not just me, but the whole media row that night in Dallas, oohing and awing at just some of the things he was doing. So I would say those are a couple fights that come to mind. But I have to really sit down and like really think about that one, because there's a lot of talented fighters and a lot of weight classes, and they're all doing their thing. So we don't want to disrespect nobody. But yeah, Terrence Carver's Earl Spence is definitely up there. Koki says, I'm honestly so surprised that Ergashev is back so early. Aside from the leg stabbing, the retirement news from Ergashev made me feel like he didn't have the same passion for driver boxing, but he's back. Yeah, like in hindsight, right? Because hindsight's 2020. At the time, it sounded like he just wanted to quit, and he, like he was fighting with Subriel Matias, who's a very tough fighter. So it felt like at that time that he was just really starting to understand the magnitude of who it was he was fighting. But now I just think he got stabbed in the leg, and he was he was worried about his condition going into the fight, so that's why he was talking that way. But I'm really intrigued to see what they do with his career. Because like he couldn't get fights when he was undefeated. He couldn't get fights when he was ranked number 1 in the IBF. So what now? Like what kind of fights is Ergashev going to get when he's got a loss? Yeah, but it's a good boxing week, man. You got like Oshaki Foster's back in action. He's taking on Abraham Nova. That same day, you got a rematch I'm really, really excited about. And if y'all don't know about this fight, y'all should go check it out. It's the rematch for Sivanati Nochinga and Adrian Curiel. It was my 2023 upset of the year because Adrian Curiel came out of nowhere. Nothing on his record suggested that he was going to knock out Nochinga the way he did. And he did him dirty. So now Nochinga has to kind of regain the belt back the way he won it the first time, which is he has to go to Mexico and beat a Mexican fighter to get it back. So we'll see how it goes for him. Because it's a very big, like, watershed moment in both their careers and for the light flyweight division. Because Kenshiro right now, he's still the man to beat in the division. And I always wanted to see Nochinga fight Kenshiro. But if you don't win this fight, if Nochinga loses this fight to Adrian Curiel again, he's not getting that fight. That ship will have sailed. The following star says, Inoue for Dodger Stadium one day. That would be legendary if the Dodger Stadium hosts on another sport. Yeah, if Top Rank, the thing is, I've suggested that to people in boxing that like work for Top Rank, and what I've been told myself is that Top Rank doesn't feel like the reason why Inoue hasn't already fought in like big Asian markets like LA is because of the simple fact that they don't feel like it's a big financial risk because he's not a big name here in the States. Like he's more known amongst the boxing fans, but like to fight at Dodger Stadium, that's obviously on a whole other level. But my thing is, you got to spend money to make money, man. You can't expect this guy to be a star if you don't put him in the positions to try and make him a star. And my thing is, they have such a unique opportunity with Shohei Ohtani, who is one of the biggest athletes in the world. Like, forget America, forget Japan. He is one of the most famous athletes in the world. And you got him in LA, right? Inoue could easily fight in LA if Top Rank put the money up. All they got to do, literally, Top Rank, all they got to do is box him at Dodger Stadium against some sort of Mexican fighter. You get Shohei Ohtani ringside, okay? And even before that, you do some sort of segment where like Ohtani talks to Inoue in Japanese for like literally 5 to 10 minutes. Translate it from Japanese to English with subtitles. Boom. All of a sudden, you're going to have more Japanese fans who don't normally watch boxing tuning into his fights just off the strength of Ohtani talking to him. Because I don't think people understand how big baseball is in Japan. Like I always knew baseball was big in Japan, but when I went there in May, I really understood how big baseball was in Japan. Like, fully. It's huge. It's like the biggest sport in the country. What do y'all think about these fights this weekend? You know, if y'all got any opinions on these fights this weekend? I know O'Shaquie Foster. He's defended the belt for the second time. You know, and the first time was very hard because he was the B-side fighter. They were really setting him up to lose. Abraham Nova, look, I like Abraham Nova. He's a good fighter. I know that Foster got to be careful because Nova's explosive. But I think he should win. I think O'Shaquie should come out ahead on that one, and he should find a way to beat Nova. And then I think what Top Rank is going to probably wind up doing is they'll probably make him fight the winner of their March 29th fight, which is Oscar Valdez versus Liam Wilson. You know, Valdez was an opponent on the short list for O'Shaquie Foster. I don't know if he's going to win that fight. That's going to be a tough one for him because although Liam Wilson's never like beaten an opponent the caliber of a Oscar Valdez, he fought someone that beat Oscar Valdez and gave him arguably the hardest fight of his career in Emmanuel Navarrete, right? So I'm giving Liam a great shot to beat Oscar. I really think he probably should be beating Oscar because Oscar's been in a lot of wars. Oscar has not been winning fights recently. If there was ever a time where Liam Wilson was going to make a name for himself in the boxing and make a name for himself in the sport, it would be in this fight. It would. But yeah, I know for a fact if Oscar wins that fight, then they're doing that because Bob Arum loves Oscar Valdez. He even said it when I went to the press conference for Oscar Valdez and Tanisha Estrada and Yoka Vai. He said, you know, Oscar Valdez is one of my favorite fighters. You know, so he wins that fight, he's getting O'Shaquie. Make no mistake about it. And that'd be a good little fight. Robert Sanchez, my main man out there in Austin. Shout out to you. Good to see you, champ. He says, I got Foster, but I think it could be tough. It could be tough in that fight. You know, listen, Nova can punch. Nova's not going to come to lay down. Nova fought Robeisy Ramirez. And he got beat up. But, you know, I don't really hold the Robeisy fight against him because Nova's a big guy. He had to drain himself down to 26, right? Was it 26 for that fight? Featherweight. And it was a world title opportunity. And he didn't have the energy. You could tell in the fight that, like, even when he would land on Robeisy, his punches weren't as sharp. They weren't as strong. So, to me, I really look at this as his real, like, proper first crack at a world title. That's how I look at it. The following star wants to know, what are your feelings on the next generation of welterweights? Probably top 5 in the bottom order for me to be excited about in the future. Welterweight division is in a state of transition right now. Like, you got Boots Ennis, who's, you know, he's in a fight, but it's not a fight in the ring. He's in a fight in the courtroom, you know, lawsuits, those kind of things. I don't know, man. I'm trying. Like, you got Jin Sasaki from Japan, who I like a lot. I think he's going to be a big factor in the division down the road. There's this one kid that I like. He's kind of been competing in between 140, 147. I'm not sure if he's going to be a 47-pounder, but I like. I definitely like that kid Elijah Flores. He's good. Who else is there? You know, I wouldn't call this guy the future of the division, but I would like to see him get some more fights. Like Pete Dobson, I thought, considering the 2-year layoff and not being in the greatest condition, he performed very well against Conor Benn and definitely exposed him like no other opponent has before. And I think I like to see Matchroom getting some more fights. So, like, right now, I can't really think of, like, the young guys off the top of my head. But, like, when I think of welterweights, like, that I want to see fight in the near future, those are some guys that come to mind. Like, Jin Sasaki, Pete Dobson, them kind of guys.
Thank you, man.
I know, like, in about a week or so, we're going to have Junto Nakatani finally fighting at 118. A lot of you guys, I know, like, once every live I get asked, you know, BT, what do you think about Junto Nakatani moving up to 118? It's good. It's good. Honestly, though, the fight on that card, guys, that I'm really looking the most forward to, not because I think it'll be no great fight or nothing like that. I'm just a big fan of him, is Kosai Tanaka. You know, he's trying to become, I think, Japan's fourth division champion, and he's taking on that Mexican Christian Bacasegua. And the crazy thing is, if you look at the odds, because I've looked at the odds a couple times, the odds weren't as wide as I thought. So, like, people that bet on fights, the odds makers, they think that Bacasegua has a pretty good chance. Falling Star says you could tell at Top Rank that simply asking the Japanese sponsor of Inoue to help pay the bills, Inoue star power that keeps increasing in Japan. Yeah, well, that's what this whole 2024 for Inoue, and this is what I keep telling everybody is like 2024 for Inoue. I'm not looking at it as a year where he's gonna be fighting the best guys. He kind of already he did that last year, right? With going undisputed against Stephen Fulton and whatnot, and then he fought Marlon Tapales towards the end of the year. This year to me is all about making him the biggest star possible, and the way they're gonna do that is they're gonna keep him at 122. That's what this Neri fight's about. This Neri fight is a big rivalry fight in Japan because of what happened in the past with in the Yamanaka fights. They're fighting. They're literally fighting in the damn Tokyo Dome, which is 50,000 seat plus baseball stadium. So probably fight him. Maybe he fights like a merge on Akhmadaliev or a Sam Goodman in Saudi. But then after that happens, you know, then it's time to get down to business, which is the featherweight division, which is really and truthfully, as a long time Inoue fan, that's what I'm waiting for, is to see what he does at 126 against the fighters up there, because I think there's some great fights up there to be made for him. My main man, Next Gen Combat TV, he says, yeah, big Junto. Shout out to Junto Nakatani.
Yeah, he gave us the pills. Thank you, man. Thank you.
We got Hand History Vault. Hand History Vault says, what are your thoughts on the rumors of Ben versus Tank? Do you think it happens? No. I don't think it happens because I think Eddie Hearn is very protective of Conor Benn. When they were here in Vegas a couple weeks ago, Eddie Hearn was very adamant about the fact that they want Conor Benn's next fight to be in the UK. Now, obviously, he can't fight in the UK again until he gets that whole situation squared away with the British Boxing Board of Control. Yeah, with Conor Benn. Yeah.
Because he's a fucking drug cheat.
That's right. But yeah, once he gets that cleared up with the British Boxing Board of Control, I think they're gonna try to look for like an opponent from in the UK. Maybe, I mean, the Tank fight out there will be big money, but I just don't see it. I think with the new Amazon Prime thing here in the States, that's just not gonna align with what Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn want to do with him fighting on DAZN. So that's what I think. My dad says, shout out to Pop, he says, Matias signed on a 3-fight deal with the best promoter, Eddie Hearns. Well, I don't know if he's the best promoter. He's a good promoter, but he's not. I don't know if he's the best. I think it's a match made in heaven because Eddie Hearn, I don't think has ever had a male Puerto Rican, fighter the caliber of a Subriel Matias. So I think it's great. He's excited. He needs a promotion. He needs a guy that's going to be a mouthpiece for him, and that's what Eddie Hearn is. But yeah, shout out to everyone here. It's your boy BT. 90 days of boxing, day number 25. We don't get tired. We get better. We get stronger. Talking that boxing. Really and truthfully, man, y'all keep asking me about 140. You guys keep asking me about Matias and Ergashev and these guys. I'm just waiting. I'm being patient. Boxing's a process. I'm waiting for my boy Eric Lances Jr. to get up there at 140. Yeah, wait till you see how much I'm gonna talk when he get up there. Just when he crack the top 50 or top 100, or just what he fight in general. Like, what do you think, Eric?
I think it's a matter.
You wanna come talk to the people?
Man, I'm gonna talk my shit.
You know what? Because I keep saying this now. I keep saying Eric Lances Jr. And some of y'all may not know who I'm talking about. So this is him, my guy. Eric Lances Jr.
Yeah.
Just tell him about you right quick, man.
Well, let me introduce myself. I'm
tell
Eric
him
Lances Jr.
and tell him what we're here for. What have we been doing these last couple of days?
We're here to conquer. In other words, just get better. Work hard, stay disciplined, and just meet the top guys and see what they're really about. Obviously, we're from Homestead, so you already know how we come in.
Yeah.
But we're tough. We're disciplined as well, and we got we got a lot of talent to show off. Here with my coach, Eli.
Eli, Box IQ, shout out Eli.
Box IQ, Palmetto. Shout out Palmetto.
I know, so I know, we're not going to say no names, but, you did some sparring yesterday at one of the local gyms. We ran yesterday with Angelo Leo. You had a chance to be around Angelo Leo for a couple of days. I guess, talk about that. How do you feel with you being in Vegas now, right? You got a taste of, what the culture is like out here. How do you think, already this has leveled you up mentally as a fighter?
I feel like it's just allowed me to, you know, block out all the distractions back home and just really focus on boxing and on my craft. And it's nothing crazy out of this world because it's, at the end of the day, it's boxing.
It's fighting. It's fighting.
Yeah, and I've been doing this my whole life. It's just way more serious now, and it's, you know, these guys are doing the same thing I'm doing, just at a higher level. Angelo Leo, that's my boy, man. Thanks to BT, you know, I met him, you know, we linked up, we cool. That's my boy, and I've been learning a lot from him and trying to get better.
And his dad, Miguel, too. Shout out to Miguel.
Miguel, too. Shout out Miguel. They're really great people. And honestly, man, I'm just trying to, like, absorb as much, you know, knowledge and, you know, little tricks, tips and tricks, and pick it all up in the gym and stuff.
I know. I know. Like, you don't got any fights lined up right now, but I know you're targeting like a March date.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now we're just trying to, like, you know, weigh out our options and, you know, see what's available and, you know, just play it by ear. You know, at the same time, you know, I'm sitting back with my team. We're trying to analyze the playing field and see, you know, what's the best move, and we're trying to stay consistent all year round. You know, big fights coming. You know, we want to crack the top 15 this year. Top 15 in the world. It has to be this year. You know, by the end of the year, you guys will know my name and you'll see me in action.
And you know what's crazy? When they see you on TV and you knock some out, they're gonna say, "Yo, that's the guy from True School."
Yeah,
we didn't know who it was then, but we know him now. So look, man.
Exactly.
Look, one thing I want to start normalizing with the boxing fans, right? Especially on this channel, was like, you know, don't wait for guys like him to you know, have that big fight and then you want to jump on the bandwagon. Like I'm telling you guys who he is now. You know, he's a hardworking fighter.
Yes,
He's got a lot of talent. He's got to, you know, obviously tighten some things up, and he will. But you'll know this name, Eric Lantis Jr., really soon, man.
Yes,
so
coming to a city near you.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The road show. True School Sports. You already know what time.
90 Days of Boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. That's my guy. That's my guy. Pop says Pop says Homestead's mindset to be champion. That's right. The pride and pride of Homestead has spoken. He's spoken. You know what? And you know, I feel like I told the story like 4 times today to like people we met. But I'm gonna tell you guys a story, right? While I'm sitting here, right? Because y'all saw Eric. Y'all might be saying, who is this guy? You may box record, and you may say like his record is not like that impressive right now. We get all that. But my thing is, like when I met Eric I didn't meet him, but I learned of Eric. Well, I think the year was like 17, right? 2017. He fought in the Golden Gloves, Florida Golden Gloves, at the Heavyweight Factory. For those of you who watch this channel, you guys know from them days back at the Heavyweight Factory, I used to be there all the time. Me with Riddick Bowe and Holyfield and all them. But they used to have the semifinals there every year. And I remember I was going to the Golden Gloves there like 3 years in a row. So I would go there, record some fights, you know, talk to people, shake hands, kiss babies, the whole 9 yards, right? So I filmed his fight, and then like 3 years later, like in 2020, when he made his pro debut, was it 2019 or 2020? Late 2019?
It was December 2020.
It was December of 2020. And I remember he made his pro debut, and I remember I was just talking to him. I'm like, hey man, what's your name? And he told me his name, and I recognized the name, and I was like, hey man, I recorded your amateur fight, and then you know, we got cool, and then like eventually I moved to Homestead, which is like way out the way. Like
It's my city.
It's his city, but it's way out the way in South Florida. It's past Miami. So like, I didn't know nobody down there, and he was the only person I knew. So we got real cool just off that, and now we find ourselves here, two young men from Homestead, you know, in Vegas, you know, making this boxing thing work, you know. So he's doing the sparring, and I'm doing my best to connect the dots for him, you know, putting on my manager's hat a little bit. I'm not a manager, but I'm saying. Eli, you know, shout out to Coach Eli, you know, from Box IQ, Fitness and Knowledge out there in Palmetto Bay. If you don't know, then you can Google it and you can go. It's a great place. Pull up. Shout out to my guy right here. He says, what does Corsa Tanaka have to do to become a bona fide Hall of Famer in your opinion? I think he needs to, like, he's done a good job of like scaling weight classes, and he's trying to become a 4-division WBO champion. Like, let's start off by winning another belt besides just the WBO. That would be a good start. But I think he needs to have a run in a weight class where he's like the clear-cut #1 guy. Like he unifies titles. He beats guys that other champions in dominant fashion, because that's what Hall of Fame fighters ultimately do. They fight top caliber guys and they have legendary performances against them. I think that's really like all he's lacking. He's beat some good fighters, like he beat Jonathan Gonzalez, whooped him, beat Vic Saladar. But like the fight that mattered the most in his career was the Ioka fight, and he got the brakes beaten off of him in that fight. So I think if he could fight him and avenge that loss, because it's really and truthfully one of the only fights that could be made for him at that level at 115, that would be a great start. But like it's crazy how one fight can change the narrative of a fighter's career, because if he would have beat Ioka, you would be talking about Kosai Tanaka about potentially being the best fighter from Japan, not named Inoue. But now, because of that loss, he's not looked at as that. Hyro says, Eddie doesn't know how to promote. He doesn't know what he's doing. Most of his guys are co-promoted. And shout out to Hurricane Hanky with the customary Usyk and Joshua knockout Hrgovic. You already know what I'm gonna say to that, so I'm gonna really give you too much energy. You know that them guys, Joshua don't want to fight no Hrgovic. Everyone likes to trash talk Hrgovic, but nobody exactly. They do all this bumping their gums. They do all that talking, but they really not about no action. They don't want no action with the Croatian sensation. They don't want no smoke. Talking about Ryan?
Yeah.
Talking about Ryan? Yeah.
Yeah. How can you tell?
Yeah, because... Yeah, but Ryan Garcia, man, like they're talking about in the background. Ryan Garcia, what do y'all think about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney? I want to like check the temperature of the chat and the boxing fans, because I've heard everything from... Hold on, guys. My bad. My bad, guys. I've heard everything about Ryan, from it's a 50-50 fight to, he has no chance. What do you guys think? Next Gen Combat says that Ryan gonna slap Devin Haney sideways. Yeah, a lot of you guys are confident in Ryan Garcia. Why are so many people confident in Ryan winning this fight? Is it because he won't be weight drained this fight? Is that the reason why? Because I'm trying to understand. Howard says, "Yo, BT, I'm surprised you didn't say I want to go to Mexico." I did. Honestly, Howard, I did want to go to Mexico for that fight. But the thing is, I don't know if you saw earlier in the live. I'm with Eric Lances Jr. So a lot of things in boxing, they take back seat. I'm with Eric Lances Jr. We taking him gym to gym, sparring, making sure he's good. I don't care about them right now. I watched the fight. I'll do a video on it, but it's not like a priority. That's why I didn't say that. But in other videos, I was saying that. But I can't go to every fight, guys. Like I know I make it look easy, but like I'm one man, and my energy is valuable, and it's gotta be put in the right places. And right now, the best place it can be put in is helping Eric. I think Garcia will be at his best, but I think Haney is just too good. Well, one thing about it, I'll say this: I know Ryan has a tendency to not be a professional, not listen to his coaches. I think if there was ever a fight where Ryan Garcia was going to be fully up and motivated and ready to like show out, it's got to be this one, because he's got history with Devin. There's pride on the line. This one for them is like all the marbles. Hyro said, "Nah, it's not a prominent fight. You care, but you don't really care." I do, Hyro. I trust me. I do care about the fight. It's the day after the fight. It's gonna get a whole aftermath live. I'm gonna do a post-fight review video. I do care about it, but truth be told, there's fights that I like Oshaki Foster and other good fights that I don't like. I care about them, but I don't care about them because, like I'm trying to tell you, the main thing I care about is Eric Lances Jr. I really don't care about a lot of things in boxing. I just care about helping my friend as much as I can. That's the main thing I care about. So that's what it is. Daniel said, and by the way, tip of the cap to Daniel Rubin from Pro Box. He says, "Where are you at, BT?" I'm in Sin City, man. I'm in Vegas. Don't you know I'm in Vegas, man? I'll be in Vegas the rest of the month. I know. What's today? What's today? Tuesday?
Yes.
Today's Tuesday.
Yep.
Tuesday, what, the 13th?
Yep.
Okay, so I know you guys got a Pro Box card coming up soon. So shout out to Pro Box. I'll definitely check it out at some point. Keep up the good work. I'll tell you this, Daniel. The next Pro Box show I'll probably go to. I'm thinking I want to go to that March 27th card, which is Joseph Adorno versus Nicholas Walters. That's a random fight, but I like that fight. It's a good little fight. Nicholas Walters coming back out of nowhere, coming from the doldrums of Jamaica and Colombia and Panama, back to boxing. You know, after a 7-year layout, we ain't seen Lomachenko beat the brakes off him all those years ago. Made him quit. Now he's fighting Joseph Adorno March 27th on Pro Box. So I'll probably be out there for that one before I come to Vegas. He says, I thought you were going to New York. Nah, man. I'm in Vegas the rest of the month because I came out here to cover the fights, you know, with Ben and Dobson and then Teofimo and Ortiz. And then, you know, my boy Eric Lances Jr., you know, me and him have been having these conversations about him coming out here for Vegas for sparring for like the longest. So now he's here. So I'm kind of just like connecting the dots, you know, helping him any way I can. And while I'm doing that and going gym to gym with him, I'm getting interviews at these gyms. And yeah, I'm probably not going to any fight in boxing like outside of the West Coast until Komatov Ford. I'll be at Komatov versus Ford out there in upstate New York, but not for Oshaki though. But that's a good fight. I like that fight. Following starts asking the good questions, the pertinent questions that I like to answer. He says, "What's your favorite Bible verse and story?" So it's funny you mentioned that, right? Because today, you know, today I was actually, I was reading my Bible today. You know, I was reading my Bible today. Shout out to the Word. And the last thing I was reading in my Bible was Psalm 84:11, which says that, "For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those whose walk is upright." There you go. So Psalm 84:11. That's the verse of the day. But my favorite verse of all time in the Bible is Psalm 37:1, which is, "I will rejoice and be glad in your love, for you knew the anguish and the affliction of my soul." That's my go-to. That's the go-to Bible verse. So, yes, sir. Shout out to Larry Lopez. He says, Matias is another Lucas Batiste. He's hyped up and then he's forgotten about. Well, that's not true, man, because Matisse ain't been relevant in years, and you mentioned him. So, clearly he made some sort of impression. A forgotten fighter is a guy that doesn't even get mentioned anymore. Like, Matisse gets mentioned just because he fought Pacquiao. He fought Danny Garcia. You know, he was in really good fights against Provodnikov, John Molina. You know, he gets his fair share of shine. I think he left a good legacy in the sport as a puncher and a fun TV fighter. Hyro says, "When are you going to cover the Bridgeweight division? You don't care about big men like the lower weight classes." When I get some time. I'm lucky I even got these videos out today, Hyro. Are you not listening to what I'm saying, Hyro? I got my boy Eric Lances Jr. here. A lot of things in boxing are taking a back seat, so you know that's what it is.
If he calls me right now and says, "Hey,"
but it's in my notes. Like, I made a note of it, Hyro. I'm gonna eventually get to it. Just may not be when you want it. It may not be as fast as you want it, but I always get to it at some point. So I'll get to it. You know, shout out to the Bridgeweight division. You know, I really do feel a little guilty about making that division more popular. I feel like boxing has enough divisions, so I kind of don't like the fact that we have another weight class in boxing. There's too many damn weight classes in boxing. I already learned all the other ones, so now I gotta learn a whole new crop of guys. Like, come on, man. I liked it more when it was just a WBC weight class because the champion was the champion, but now they got other sanctioning bodies legitimizing the division. So now it's like any other weight class. Yup, February 16th on Pro Box. The following star says, "Would you take an offer or something like ESPN to do boxing coverage?" I mean, like, yeah, if the right offer ever came, like I get asked this question all the time, which is the fact that, you know, would you ever work for ESPN or Top Rank or one of these companies? Look, I'm open to it. I'm not going to sit here and say it's like a priority of mine. Like, I don't sit here. Like, it's not my dream. Like, I know for a lot of people who have channels like Fight Hub and people on Fight Hype and Michelle Phelps, like, for them, like, their dream is to, like, work for the networks. That's not my dream. My dream is to make True School Sports, you know, the home of boxing and make it a place that boxing fans get real, fun, insightful boxing talk. And I think I'm doing that, and I want to make it as big as I possibly can. That's my dream. True School Sports is my dream. And I'm living my dream. I'm living my dream every single day. But of course, if ESPN offered anything, if Pro Box TV offered anything, I'd obviously listen, right? I definitely listen, and I would evaluate and see, if it would work for me. But of course, Hyro says, can you go to LA and find Jerry Perez? Eric needs to avenge that loss. Jerry is losing to everyone now. Eric needs to talk crap to Jojo Diaz. They have a common opponent. That little boy from South El Monte isn't even good. What about that fight, Eric? What do you think about Jojo Diaz?
Jojo Diaz?
Yeah, Jojo Diaz.
I'll smoke that fat boy.
There you go. Yeah.
Fuck that pussy.
Whoa.
Whoa. We're gonna go scope out his fight on Thursday.
I'll be at the fight. Are you gonna go to the fight?
Yeah.
Okay, Eric will be at the fight. So,
What, man? You wanna be my anger translator?
Robert wants to
take that fight. I'm sorry if I came off strong, but I'd love to take that fight.
He would love to take that fight. We respect Jojo Diaz. He respects Jojo Diaz, and
but he's a fat boy.
yes.
He eats too many tacos.
What happened to the dude that he beat? It was in Miami.
Talking about Tevin Farmer.
What happened?
He
was talented.
he just came back. He had a little comeback fight, and then now I guess he's just trying.
He's showing his other eye.
Yeah, he's trying to. I interviewed Tevin recently. Like
He was talented dude. Another dude that started late, pretty late.
had a lot of losses early in his career, and then
Yeah.
became champ.
I liked him.
Robert Sanchez wants to know whatever happens to the Sean Porter thing. You gotta honestly ask Sean Porter, because I don't even know the answer to that question. Like, I went out to Colorado Springs with Sean Porter in late 2022. We interviewed like the whole USA Amateur Elite team. And then the thing with Sean Porter is a great guy. I love Sean Porter. I actually saw him at the press con for Teofimo Lopez, and we had a great conversation. But he's a busy guy. He takes a lot of commentating jobs. Like, he go to Australia, then he's in Vegas. He's everywhere, right? So I always knew there was a possibility that he may just get too busy and put that on the back burner. But I always said, like, look, if he wanted to do the amateur boxing champions thing, I always would be willing to help, because I felt like it was good for the sport, and it was cool to work with Sean Porter. And not just Sean Porter, but my boy Sean Zattel. It was cool to actually work side by side with not just a fighter that I really respect, but probably out of everybody in boxing media, the other person I really respect, and who happens to be my friend, which is Sean Zattel. So nothing really happened. Nothing came of it. And that's just life. Like, sometimes opportunities come up, you want to do them, and then nothing happens. So I'm not really too stressed.
Can help us with the hotel.
Daniel says, I love Jerry Perez. He's a great fighter. Shout out to Jerry. Larry says that would be great for boxing. Yeah, I mean, look, Sean Porter's a busy guy, so I'm not gonna ever put him down or talk. Like, he's great. Like, he's great. It's been a blessing to get to know him over since he retired. It's been a blessing to just know him in any capacity, because he's a great guy. He's someone that I really like. I was a fan of him. Like, before I even knew him, I was a fan. Like, the only time I ever cheered against him was when he fought my boy Adrian Granados. But that was about it. But I love Sean Porter, great fighter. What are your thoughts on William Zepeda? Fun fighter to watch. Definitely one of boxing's premier volume punchers. The Maxie Hughes fight, I like Maxie Hughes. I'm a Maxie Hughes fan, but Maxie Hughes, he can't really punch. It's a safe opponent for him. I wish Golden Boy would have made a better matchup. And I like to see Maxie Hughes get put in a fight that's more of a win-win for him than Zepeda. I don't think Zepeda's that much of a winnable fight for him, to be honest with you, just because he's the B-side fighter. He can't really punch. I don't think he'll get Zepeda's respect. And if you can't get Zepeda's respect, you lose. Twitter went off on Rick Glazer for the... Yeah, I seen that. Listen, man, I like Rick. Rick has gotten a lot of things right in the past, but, today... Or who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Canelo's announcement. Maybe he will be right. But he said that pretty much today that Canelo had left PBC. And I guess it's been confirmed that he's not leaving PBC. So we'll see what happens. I was asking my boy Eric and Eli this question earlier, and I asked you guys this. What do you guys think Canelo's announcement on Thursday is going to be? Personally, I really only see it as two things. It's either going to be, it's, it's either going to be Charlo, or he's fighting Crawford. So, what do you guys think? Who's Canelo fighting next? The following star wants to know who is my favorite boxing analyst other than myself. That's a good question. Oh, it's easy. Sean Tittel. Sean Tittel is my favorite boxing analyst beside myself because I feel like every time I talk to Sean, every time I listen to Sean, I learn something new about boxing. I know that he's someone that whenever he's talking about fights or fighters, I know he watches a lot of film. I know he has a genuine love for the sport. So Sean, the best. But apart from me, because I rate myself, Sean is the best. Johnny wants to know, which gym are you training at in Vegas? We're everywhere. We're everywhere in Vegas. One day it might be Floyd's. The next day it might be Top Rank. We don't really stay at one gym. We kind of like go gym to gym because that's how it is here in Vegas, Johnny. But good to see you in the chat. Crawford was in camp sparring with the super middleweight. Yeah, he's been out here sparring Lester Martinez with Guatemala. And I actually saw Lester last week. When I was at Top Rank Gym, you know. So, look, that might be an indicator that Canelo versus Crawford is happening next, honestly. And that'd be an interesting fight for boxing. I really I got mixed feelings about it because I'm a big Crawford fan, and I don't want the possibility of Crawford losing to Canelo. But at the same time, it's like if Crawford don't want to fight Boots, then he kind of deserves to lose to Canelo because he want to go chase that bag. So, chase that bag, you catch a L sometimes in life. Will you interview some women on the channel? Yeah, why not? What I really should have did was I went to Hooters earlier today, and I made me a nice little friend today at Hooters. I wanted to interview her. You know, I wanted to interview her. Her name was Sonya. I should have interviewed her. She didn't know shit about boxing, but I should have interviewed her. But she was nice though. She was nice. Speaking of boxing analysts, Tim Bradley is hard. Listen, I know not everyone likes Tim Bradley, but I'm not gonna participate in any Tim Bradley slander on this channel. I love Tim Bradley. That's my guy. But I know that sometimes he be all over the place at times. But I love Tim. It's my guy. Karma Serene says, LMAO, I think she's laughing at my Hooters girl comment. Yeah. I should have interviewed her today. Today I was a degenerate. Today I woke up, and believe it or not, y'all can tell me if they have this anywhere else but Las Vegas. But they had a Hooter. I had breakfast at Hooters. I had freaking eggs and pancakes and all kinds of crazy stuff today for breakfast. I had breakfast at Hooters. So I really am truly one of society's degenerates. Who the hell has breakfast at Hooters? True School has breakfast at Hooters. Do you want to meet Ariel Helwani? You two have some features in terms of appearance and style of work. I've been told that. I've been told by people that they think I'm like the Ariel Helwani of boxing. I take it as a compliment because he's obviously very good at what he does in MMA. I actually met Ariel Helwani back in December at the WBA convention. We had a brief little chat. Yeah, I wouldn't mind talking to him. He's obviously interviews fighters and things like that, so I wouldn't mind talking to him. She said, I'm a sicko. Who, like, anybody who has breakfast at Hooters can't be trusted, you know? Yeah, there is. And you guys know the crazy part is, like, you know, the waitress, she couldn't get my order right. She got my order wrong when, you know, I actually got free food out of it too, so it was cool. And I got a number, so it was all good. It was all good. Cause look, she had like a spider tattoo on her neck. So she had a. What does that mean, Eli, when a girl has a spider tattoo on their neck? Well, she said she got it because she wanted to look crazy. She said that she's crazy. So then after we left, I was like, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how crazy are you? She was like, oh, I think I'm a 9. I'm like a 9. I get pretty crazy. I said, yeah. I said, well, I'm trying to see how crazy you are. What time you get off? And she was like, she said, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah. What's good?" Like, she was cool. She was with it. Yeah.
Anyone with a neck
A neck tattoo. I think I had problems because I was telling Eric like a couple of the girls that I like, they got neck tattoos, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I have some issues.
Yeah,
Tattoo, but not like it can't be like a gaudy neck tattoo. It has to be something like subtle. Hers was a little more gaudy than the other ones, but like the other girls, they got like subtle neck tattoos. The chat says the chat's saying that means she did some time in prison.
Oh, that's true. The spider web on the elbow.
Yeah.
We're going downstairs to the gym, bro.
Okay.
Come after?
I'll come in like 5 to 10 minutes. I'll leave. All right. Next Jeb says, "You was putting. Listen, I don't put up a lot of shots, but when I put them up, I put them up for real. So look, man. Now, honestly, I mean, I had fun today. Like now we're here in Vegas. Now you guys are getting to see BT like outside of boxing. I'm giving you guys BT outside of boxing. Like, really and truthfully, I'm so focused on this boxing thing that like I really don't have time to be having fun and a lot of times and talking to people. So I was at Hooters. It was the morning time. I had fun. Nothing's gonna come of that. But nah, really and truthfully, there's one woman in particular. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not gonna expose her. But there's one woman in particular that I really like, got my eyes set on. So yeah, I may put some shots out there. I may put some bait out there to see if sometimes you gotta practice. You gotta stay sharp. Sometimes you gotta talk to girls just to stay sharp. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm staying sharp. But really and truthfully, there's only one in particular that I got my eyes on, and I believe, I've been praying about it. I believe it's gonna happen. My dad. I'm not gonna tell y'all, like, even if y'all guess who it is in the chat, I'm not gonna tell you who it is. But no, pops, it's not Sinisa Estrada, and it's not Serafina Hiro. But that's it. I'm not I'm not gonna go ahead and disclose who that is here because we want to protect her. We want to protect her because we care about her, and some things need to stay private. But Hannes Rival says tattoos are a red flag. For the most part, they are. Like, tattoos are a red flag, and I don't like at least I thought I didn't like girls with tattoos, but today I was examining it. I was like, man, this girl has a neck tattoo. I like her. This other girl has a neck tattoo. So maybe who knows? Maybe I'm not as wholesome as I think. Maybe I'm not that. When are you going to mention how good Elijah Garcia is? We talk about Shiraz, but Garcia is 20 years old, ranked number 2. And Elijah Garcia, his next fight, he's fighting... I forgot who he's fighting. Somebody refresh my memory. Who is Elijah Garcia fighting next? I saw the headline today. Who do you want to interview in Japan most that's not named Inoue? That's a hell of a question. Let me think about that one. A lot of great fighters in Japan. Jin Sasaki. I'm a big fan of Jin Sasaki. I actually got in contact with his gym, and they follow me on Instagram now. So all I gotta do when I go to Japan is message the gym account, and eventually I'll go ahead and get that interview with Jin Sasaki. But Jin Sasaki, Shinsuke Yamanaka, Kaya Gucci, those are a couple guys. I like Mr. Honda. That's another one. There's a lot of people. I can't just pin it down to just one. There's so many people. Sorry, man, and that's not Omaira Figueroa. God bless Omaira Figueroa, but that's not her either. Buy her a suitcase and a frying pan and ask her to fill. That's funny. Yeah, Hiro. I please, Hiro. I know you joke around a lot. I ask, please, do not put the girl's name in the chat. Whatever you do, don't do it, champ. You know who it is. You know who it is, Hiro. Do not put that girl's name in the chat. Tyrone Davis, yeah, that's a good fight. Elijah Garcia, Tyrone Davis, hell of a fight. Tyrone's been, he's battle tested, he's durable. He put up a very good fight against Benavidez. It's a good step up. It's the right fight at the right time for the young Elijah Garcia. And I think Elijah has to continue to parlay what he did last year, continue to build off what he did last year, because just boxing's like life. You gotta always be moving forward. You gotta always, be moving up, forwards, not backwards. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're here. 90 Days Boxing, day number 25. Karma Serene, she's trying to egg Hyro on to expose who the girl is in the chat. Hyro, I swear on my life, bro, if you put that girl's name in the chat, I will freaking block you on all sorts. Like, I'm not playing. We want to protect her identity, all right, for her sake. And yeah, I care about the girl, so I want to make sure she's protected all the time. When it's time for the world to know, the world will know. But now at the time for the world to know. Will you go to the Boxing Writers Association Awards ceremony to see in a way? Probably not, because I'm not part of the Boxing Writers Association of America. The only YouTuber that's part of the BWAA is my friend Sean Tatel. So maybe he'll be there. Yes, Pops. You can't tell everyone your business. Look, I'm a personable guy, so like I feel comfortable on here talking to you guys. I'm giving you guys like some insight into like something cool that happened in my day today, but some things will be kept under wraps here on True School Sports. It's like sometimes it's no different. Like sometimes I meet prominent people in boxing, and I have prominent conversations, and things get exposed. Things get like today. I was talking to a fighter today at a gym, and he was telling me a story about a very prominent promoter in boxing and how he got mistreated. And so I have a lot of dirt on a promoter that I know, but I'm not gonna sit here and talk about it because those things gotta stay private, Point Fire says, follow your heart. Yes, honestly, yeah, man. Like, the last 7 years of my life, I've just been so focused on boxing, especially the last 3 years, more importantly, boxing. But, we getting a little up there in age, advanced in age, so it's like you start thinking about the other parts of your life that need tending to, and it's like, I like this girl, man. I like her. She's dope, so, we'll see, man. I got some things I got to get together myself, but, right now, with the way life is going, I feel like, I'll have her. Bib said, "Sport. Oh, what's good, man? Shout out to my boy Ralph Valencia. Shout out to you out there in Santa Ana, California. Ralph, I'm gonna be at the Jojo Diaz fight in LA on Thursday. I don't know if you're gonna be there, but if you are, it'd be great to see you. It's been a little minute. Can you tell what the ethics of the girl? The very least, for some reason, I have always pictured you having an Asian girl. No, nah, man. I won't do that, because if I do that, it might narrow it down. But I don't discriminate. I like women I think there's beauty in every color. I think there's beauty in every nationality. Like, I love all women, right? I love all the women. Okay, I love Mexican girls more than anything. Especially the Mexican girls from like Arizona, New Mexico, California. That's my shit right there. That really and truthfully, that is my shit. The Mexican girls on the West Coast. But I love everything, man. The Puerto Rican girls, the Colombian girls, the Romanians, everything, right? Everything. But above all that, right? I want to make it clear. Above all that, I love the Lord, man. I love Jesus, right? So gotta make sure we're disciplined. We maintain our integrity and our virtue, Hiram wants to know, what about Sophia? Sophia what? Sophia Gutierrez? Great person. I got a lot of love for Sophia as a person, but no, it's not Sophia Gutierrez, But I saw her. I saw her. She was here for the Super Bowl. Great conversation. BT likes them Asians. I'm not, to be honest. I mean, I'm attracted to all kinds of women, but I wouldn't say Asians are like up there as far as my favorite. Pops can tell you. My dad's in the chat. He can tell you. He knows. If anybody knows on this earth, my dad knows. But yeah. Ralph says, calm your BBL. No, God, no. I hate BBLs. Listen, I'm from the BBL capital of the world. I hate BBLs. Fuck that. um. Wait, so Ralph, are you gonna be at the Jojo Diaz fight? Let me know. I think you said yeah. Does that mean you're gonna be at the Jojo Diaz fight? Yes or no? Because I'm gonna be there. Falling Star wants to know, what is your favorite boxing venue? My favorite boxing venue. Favorite boxing venue. What is my favorite boxing venue? That's a good question. Honestly, I like the Hard Rock. I like the Hard Rock. The Hard Rock in South Florida, because that's like a sentimental pick. It's not like it's a nice venue, but like that's why I first started covering fights. So I'll probably say the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. No, Sinisa Estrada is a lovely woman. You know, we're friends. You know, I've known Sinisa since 2016. But no, it's not Sinisa. Just know that it's a very beautiful, attractive woman with a lot to offer, and someone that is worthy of being with the untouchable. That's all you gotta know. You don't need to know no more, no less than that. That's it. You don't gotta know her ethnicity. You don't gotta know her hair color. And plus, let's keep it a spade. All right, Sinisa Estrada's already taken. Everyone knows that. That's the worst kept secret in boxing. Okay, Tank. Listen, Tank Williams. If you get out to the Jojo, listen. Anybody who gets out to the Jojo Diaz fight, you know, if you see me, and I'll be there. In fact, look, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys the exact shirt I'm gonna wear when I go to the damn fight. All right. If you're in LA, I'm gonna wear this exact shirt. I'm gonna wear this loud ass shirt right here. And hold on. And if I'm not wearing that shirt, I'll be wearing this jacket. So if it's not this shirt, it'll be this jacket. So just remember these two pieces of clothing. I'll be pretty easy to find, and I'll be there. So be nice to meet some of you guys. Daniel wants to know who Sinisa with. I'm not gonna say who she's with, man. I mean, look, if you know, you know. It's not for me to put her business out there, but you know, there's been rumors, all right, and that's all I will say. Hyro says, you have a picture, BT. Can't anyone find out? A picture of what? What do I got a picture of, Hyro? And if it's the picture that I sent you that I think you're talking about from the person that I told you not to reveal on here, then and I shouldn't even be saying it. Then let's just drop it. Let's drop it before I expose myself. Point Fire says Pops is announcing his outstanding. Thoroughly enjoy. Yeah, Pops. Listen, Pops. He brings the energy every single time. You can always count on Pops to bring that energy. My dad said it's crazy that BT doesn't like Canelo, but he loves. Yeah, he said it, and that's all I'm gonna say. Should promoters pay their boxers to attend other? Yeah, they should. I mean, they do that already. That happens already. Like promoters will send fighters to other events, but I just think like with Inoue in particular, Inoue has Otani in LA. You got the biggest Japanese baseball player, the biggest Asian athlete in the world right now, in the Asian market. It makes all the sense in the world for Top Rank to reach out to the Dodgers to do something with Otani for Inoue. Karma knows that there's a picture, but that picture's not on my Instagram. So if you're gonna go on my Instagram and look and see what girls are on BT's Instagram as far as posts, it's not. Don't stress out. Yeah, but Daniel, you like Daniel. It's common knowledge. If y'all look, I'm not gonna put nobody's business out there. And Robert Sanchez says he likes right hook Roxy. Right hook Roxy, attractive girl. Like, shout out to her. You know, I met her mom. Shout out to the Gloria Alvarado, a great coach, great person. Let's ask 4chan to uncover this mystery girl. Oh no, let's not do that. Let's not do that, champ. I'm gonna have to delete everything off my Instagram messages, delete all the evidence. But look, guys, it's been a pleasure. All right, this live is really taking a turn left field, and I think if it continues, I'm gonna expose myself. So I don't want to be a chatty patty. Look, maybe I'll go like 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. We'll make it even like 80 minutes, and then I'll get up off here because I actually really am enjoying the live. I've had a long day today, so it's sometimes just good to unwind and talk, and just not even talk about boxing. Sometimes just talk and just have fun. I like to have fun. Hyro says, I can tell you, even Mario Lopez was laughing about it. I can see why. Yeah, I saw that interview. Hyro. But yeah, really fun week ahead, man. Just really fun stuff happening. Looking forward to going to the Jojo Diaz fight. I got to do some homework on who he's fighting to see what kind of fight it is. I'm going to assume Golden Boy gave him a guy he could beat because he's coming off a Jerry Perez win. So, that should put him in a stage where, he gets 2 wins on the bounce. They could probably put him in there with like one of the top guys like a Floyd Schofield and, be a good little step-up fight for Floyd Schofield if he wins this fight. But, it's a good card. I'm looking forward to seeing Ricardo Sandoval. I like Ricardo Sandoval. He's always been a pretty consistent fighter at flyweight. I know he's getting close to a world title shot. You got the Tudor brothers who are from South Florida, who I'm really there for. So, yeah, it's a nice little Thursday card. Cool little Thursday card. Shout out to the fine folks at Golden Boy for letting me cover the event. The Japanese feed on politeness. The way you conducted yourself last visit will open many doors. Wishing you. Well, thank you, man. Yeah, man. I try my best to like respect the culture of the country. Obviously, there's some things that I had to get used to when I was in Japan. I love Japanese people. I love the country. I'm looking very forward to going back. I've thought about it every day. Like I got back home to South Florida on May 19th of 2023. Since that day, every day, at least for a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 2, like every day at some point in my day since that day, I've thought about going back to Japan, and yeah, it's just gonna be a wonderful time, Pop says, I think you're right. We can't play Lightning in the first. I'm telling you, Pops. Like every team in the East that the Panthers could play, I'm not scared of none of them, because if like the Bruins, they don't have the forwards to match the Panthers. In some cases, the coaching as well. The Lightning got everything to give us problems. They got the goaltending, they got the coach, they got the experience, they got the forwards. That's not a matchup I want for the Panthers until like later on. All right, later on in the playoffs, like second round, third round. Okay, get a series win, get some momentum. Let's do the damn thing, but let's not play them in the first round, because that's a tough. That's like playing a Stanley Cup final in the first round. We don't want that. We already had that last year with the Bruins, playing the damn Stanley Cup final in the first round. We don't need to do that again. Yeah, did the Lightning beat the Bruins, Pops? 'Cause I haven't been able to keep up with like other teams besides the Panthers. I'm gonna assume Lightning beat the Bruins in the way you're talking. That team scares the shit out of me. I think the Florida Panthers could beat any team in the NHL. I think for sure we're winning the Stanley Cup this year, and I'm gonna put a bet on it at the sportsbook before I leave Vegas. But like I'm not. I don't like that matchup in the first round. Second round, third round, cool, but just not the first. That's what I'm saying. Like Vasilevsky, Kucherov, that team is not a joke. Everyone's writing them off, saying they're old, saying they're done. I don't think that about them at all. But listen, guys. Hyro says, "Are you going to Lorenzo's next fight?" Probably not. Because I think I'm gonna go to Komatar versus Ford with Angelo. But I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it and posting some shorts about it when he gets a knockout. Him and Daniel Bailey, shout out to them. South Florida's two warriors fighting on the same card March 1st at Tropical Park. Wish I could be there, but I'm only one man and I can't be everywhere. And I ain't wealthy like that to just be going like South Florida, upstate upstate New York in a day. I ain't like that, so I gotta pick my spots right now. But one day, very soon, God willing, I'll be wealthy and I could do shit like that. But right now, I can't do that. So look, guys. On that note, let me see. Last comment. The man who was in charge is named Shin, and he appeared to watch you. Who's in charge of what? In charge of what, Falling? Who is Shin, and what is he in charge of, and why do you say he watched me? I'm a little confused by that comment. Please clarify so I could address your comment in the best, most polite, proper manner humanly possible. Yeah, but after Falling Star's comment, when I clarify, I'm getting off here because I have to go downstairs. I gotta work out. All right, I gotta make sure my body's untouchable. You know, I gotta keep working out so I got energy and I feel untouchable. So I can keep coming on here, keep doing these fire ass lives and keep the 90 Days of Boxing tradition going. You know, it's just crazy though how fast time flies on here. Like, I always think these lives are gonna like feel long. They don't feel long at all. They feel short. Time goes by so quickly because I have fun. I love talking. Today I really have fun talking to you guys about not just boxing, but just chilling, just talking shit and having fun. Falling Star, who is Shin? Please, like, clarify your comment. I wanna know who you're talking about and why you're saying what you're saying. He says the Family Tree is this Japanese YouTube combat sports covering channel that speaks English. They getting bigger. So is that who you're talking about? I never heard of them, but is that who you're talking about? Shout out to them. Shout out to anybody who's covering boxing. Even like, look, even if I don't like you, because there are channels that I'm not a fan of. I don't like what they stand for, but I respect the grind. I respect anybody who decides to cover this sport because it ain't the most popular sport in the world. And it's tough. I know the grind. I know what it takes to run a successful, self-sufficient, productive YouTube channel. So I respect anybody that does it. Hyro says that they're like barbershop conversations. Okay, I'll check them out. Never heard of them. I be in my own world sometimes. So a lot of times, like other channels or things that are being said, I'm oblivious to it all because as you guys see, like I'm making my own content. I'm traveling. I'm helping fighters out. It's like I'm all over the place. But I got my hands in a lot of different things in boxing. So life's really getting really interesting. So guys, look, it's been nothing short of a pleasure. Thank you guys for tuning in for 90 Days of Boxing, day number 25. Day number 26 should be good tomorrow. So we'll see what's cracking for tomorrow. But yeah, take care. God bless. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take your rest.